You have made it to one of the finest buildings in Berlin, the Reichstag building. It was constructed to house the first parliament of the German Empire. The planning and construction of the Reichstag proved to be a long and complicated process. The first plans for building a parliament started in 1871. 1 year later, an architectural contest was held to find a fitting design for the new building. The construction of the building did, however, not start until 10 years later due to arguments between Kaiser Wilhelm I, Otto von Bismarck, and the members of the Reichstag about how the construction should be performed. By the time the construction started in 1882, a new architectural contest was held, and the winner this time was the Frankfurt architect Paul Wallert, and he actually had his plans executed. 12 years later, the building stood complete. Throughout the years, the Reichstag has played a central role in the forming of German political history. If you look at the architrave, you will see the iconic words, Dem Deutsche Volke, to the German people. This inscription was added in 1916, much to the displeasure of the reigning Kaiser Wilhelm II, who had tried to block the inscription for its democratic significance. After the First World War and the abdication of Kaiser Wilhelm II, the politician Philipp Schiedemann announced the establishment of the Republic from one of the Reichstag's windows on November 7, 1918. The Republic, known as the Weimar Republic, existed between the years 1918 and 1933. The Republic was later dissolved when the NSDAP and Hitler took control over Germany. At 21:25 on February 27th of 1933, the Berlin fire station received the message that the assembly location of the Reichstag was set ablaze. By the time the firefighters had arrived, the main chamber of deputies had been engulfed in flames. A Dutch communist named Marinus van der Lubbe was held responsible for the fire, and he was later executed. The Nazi Party used the Reichstag fire to justify imprisonment and persecution of political enemies. However, what and who caused the fire is still under much debate. Some historians say that Gestapo used van der Lubbe in order to blame the communists for the fire. What actually happened and the reasons why will most likely never be discovered. The building was further damaged by Allied air raids during the Second World War. The Reichstag also became one of the central targets of the Red Army during the Battle of Berlin in 1945, due to its symbolic significance. If you plan to go inside the Reichstag building, you will even be able to see Soviet graffiti dating back to 1945 on some of the preserved walls inside the building. After the war had ended, the building was more or less a ruin. In addition, the building had no real use, as the West German capital had been moved to Bonn. There was a debate as to whether or not the building should be demolished. In the end, it was decided that the building instead should be reconstructed, and the work was carried out between the years 1961 and 1964, much after its original design. The distinct cupola that was in the original design was however not rebuilt, and up until 1990 the building was primarily used for exhibitions of German history. After the German reunification in 1990, it was decided that the Reichstag once again was going to house the German parliament. Thus, in 1992, another reconstruction was started, now led by the architect Norman Foster. This time a cupola was added to honor the original design. The building was finished in 1999, and the result is what you see today. A building which mixes great historical architecture with new blending design.